What's up? What's the Weatherman here with a brand new video for you guys, and I ironically may be playing the best one card Xyz deck in the game, and it's free to play. How do you feel about that? All you need to do to get this archetype for this deck is to play the event, the chill that freezes the Sun Ice Queen Marine. Is that Marine or is it, like technically that's Marin, right? I think technically that's Marin. Who cares? Anyway, speaking of Marin, you'll also unlock her from this event to get the rest of the cards that the event itself doesn't give you. So this deck is entirely free to play. This deck is based around summoning Winged Beast Water Xyz and the number 103 RAGNAZERO, which can be easily done because the skill allows us to summon these Xyz with just one monster. The boss monsters of this deck are RAGNAZERO and RAGNAFINITY. RAGNAZERO is a quick effect pop of an attack position monster, and RAGNAFINITY is a quick effect banish of a face-up card. What really makes this deck work is the skill, Variant Battle Morph Ice Queen. For starters, it allows us to use a level 5 or lower water winged beast monster to make a one card Xyz, as I mentioned earlier, but the skill also gives us consistency because we can reveal a winged beast water monster to not only add 2 level 4 winged beast water monsters from our deck and then send one from our hand to grave, but we'll also be able to add a rank up variance force from outside of our deck to our hand. And on top of all of these things, if our opponent controls a monster, we're going to be able to play a level 4 water winged beast from our deck to the field. That's honestly kind of nasty. But with all that being said, let's get into some combos. Alrighty, so we're going to be doing a simple turn one hand. This hand is actually pretty decent, pretty solid for our free-to-play hand here. We do have one water monster, one water winged beast in our hand, so we're going to be able to activate the skill. Going to reveal Falcon here, and we're going to search for 2 level 4 winged beast monsters. We're going to want to grab Thunderbird, and we're just going to grab a Aurora Wing. Now the skill is going to require us to send one card from our hand to the deck, from our hand to the graveyard, and we're going to send one of either Aurora Wing or Falcon. Either way, it doesn't really matter, so we're just going to send Aurora Wing. The reason that we do this is because when we normal summon our Thunderbird here, Thunderbird has the ability to discard a card to special summon 2 water wing beast type monsters, one being from our hand and one being from the graveyard. If we chose to not discard one of our water monsters, then he would not have an effect right now. But from here, we're going to activate him, and we're going to discard our Kiteroid because we do want to keep our bad boy in hand because we want to summon this guy. So we're going to discard our Kiteroid, and we're going to summon our Falcon hand, and we're going to summon a Aurora Wing from our graveyard. Now, second part of Thunderbird, he's going to return himself back to the hand after doing this, which is kind of nice. It kind of gives us a built-in follow-up play. Now, from here, we're going to rank up into our RAGNAZERO. Gonna only use one material. This right here is our quick effect pop, but do keep in mind that it only pops attack position monsters, so please do not forget about that. And then we're going to Xyz using our second monster to go into another copy of RAGNAZERO, but this time we're going to activate our rank up magic variant force. We're gonna activate our rank up magic variant force. Doesn't really matter which one you target. I'm just gonna pick this one since he's in the extra monster zone, and we're going to turn this copy of RAGNAZERO into RAGNAFINITY. So now with RAGNAFINITY on the field, got you there, boom, we've got you here. So right now we've got 2 disruptions. We've got our RAGNAFINITY, which is a quick effect banish of a face-up monster. It'll also burn them, equal to half the difference between that monster's original attack and the current. And then we've got RAGNAZERO here, which is going to target a face-up attack position monster, pop them. Now you may be reading, oh, RAGNAFINITY says you can detach one Xyz material from this card, target one face-up attack position monster your opponent controls whose attack is different from its original attack and destroy it. Now you might think, oh, that sucks. When are we going to be able to pop something that's different from its original attack? Well, if you read the skill actually goes out of its way to give this an answer. So during this duel, monsters our opponent control loses 100 attack. So since they lose 100 attack, this means every time we go against any monster, since our skill is always going to be active, they're going to be reduced by 100, which means that RAGNAZERO is going to be able to activate. Now from here, you're just obviously going to set whatever staples you have. We were lucky enough to have Chalice as well as Cosmic as well as Kiteroid. We actually had such a good hand for the free-to-play hand, and we're going to end our turn. Let them do their thing. Going to search. Obviously, this is a bot. We're going to let our bot search. Summons a monster. He's in attack position. Oh, we're worried. We're threatened. We're going to detach a material and pop a card. Here's the other thing about RAGNAZERO. Not only do we get to pop a card, but the card after we destroy that monster, we're going to be able to draw a card. So look at that. We drew another. What did we draw? We drew another Cosmic. So pretty nice, pretty nice. And we still have our banner. So boom, here. Now follow-up play, we're going to normal summon our Thunderbird, which we are not going to be able to activate right now, but we can still one card Xyz. Now I'm going to show you some of the other options for cards that we may have. maybe our opponent has something on the field that's still kind of problemsome, like kind of a problem, and we're going to be able to summon our Zero Fawn if we want to be able to detach material and negate the effects of all face-up cards our opponent controls. And if we do, we're going to gain 300 attack for every face-up card we negate it. We could also summon Zero here. I don't even know how to say his name, but we can detach material, target a face-up monster our opponent controls, and its attack will become 0. We can also rank up one of our monsters. Let's say that we already activated both of the effects of our Ragna Affinity here. Could rank it up, or we could do it on top of our rank 5 Zero that we were just talking about. We can summon our full armored crystal Zero. Also pretty nice. It does protect itself from being destroyed, as well as it also will negate all face-up monsters our opponent controls. So it's just pretty nice. It's pretty nice. We're not the greatest, but we do have some other answers to kind of handle some. Now we'll just be able to obviously attack for game. Boom, boom, send this bot back to Fortnite. Alrighty, now going second, the combo is very similar, but we do get a extra benefit because with the skill, since we're going second and our opponent controls a monster, we're going to be able to play one of our water monsters from our deck instead of, you know, having to just the add two. So we're going to activate our skill, going to reveal, doesn't matter which one we reveal, and we're going to search for 2. Since we're going to be able to play this guy from our deck now that we're going second, I'm not even going to search for him because it would be a waste. So I'm just going to search for a extra copy of Aurora and then another copy of Falcon. We're going to get Aurora, get Falcon. We're going to discard, let's just discard one of our copies of Falcon. And then since we're going second, we're going to be able to play a monster from our deck. So we're going to play Thunderbird. Thunderbird, just like before, is going to be able to discard a card to summon 2. We're going to discard Kyroid again because we just keep getting lucky enough to have Kyroid. Special summon Aurora Wing and then special summon our Falcon from grave. Now, just assuming we're going second, there's typically going to be something that we have to deal with first. So a lot of the time you may have to go into Zero Fawn, like I said before, to be able to detach a material and negate something. You might need to go into Zero, Ice Princess Zero here to be able to target something and reduce it to 0 attack. So just depending on what your matchup is, you may need to do this first before you do the other things. Sometimes you are going to go straight into RAGNAZERO just because you want that quick effect and you want to be able to get something going. But a lot of the time, more often than not, you're probably going to go into Zero Fawn here. So let's just, I don't even think I can activate it actually. So instead, we're going to go into Zero just because I don't even think I can activate the Zero Fawn. Let's assume that our opponent has something that we need to negate. I mean, we need to reduce. We're not worried about negating it. Boom. We'll go into this guy. We just need you to be a smaller size because you're too big. They've got a 3,000, 4,000 attack monster on the field. Boom, we're going to reduce it to 0. Now we're going to use you. We're going to go into our RAGNAZERO. Obviously, also, if you had something you needed to pop, like another attack position monster that they were controlling, you would also be able to go into this card to be able to pop a card. And then since we haven't actually used our normal summon yet, we can normal summon our Aurora Ring or a Falcon. Really didn't matter either way. And we're going to be able to do the same thing. Like I said, if you needed to go into one of these things first, you probably would have. You probably more than likely would have needed to go into Zero Fawn to negate. But you know, it is what it is. And now we're going to summon our second copy of RAGNAZERO. Just like last time, obviously the skill is going to give us our rank up spell. So we're going to turn one of these bad boys into our Ragna Affinity. Wham bam, thank you, ma'am. So now with that being the case, we've got our quick effect Vanish here. Got our quick effect Pop as long as it is a attack position monster. And then this would have reduced it to 0, making it so that we had game. The only thing that would have made this better is if we would have opened our Migratory Zero here, because this bad boy lets it special summon them. We can special summon this card to the field if we control a Water Xyz monster. And then it also lets us special summon a card from our hand or grave if we are able to detach a material from an Xyz monster that we control. So this would also allow us to get an extra body on the field. So if we had it in hand, we could special summon it since we control a Water Xyz, obviously. And then we would be able to go into another Water Xyz to help kind of break the board or get rid of a disruption that our opponent has to just make it easier for us to win. Or if we needed even more, let's say that we did this and then they popped one of our cards or whatnot, we would be able to summon him, right? Detach material from our Ragna Affinity here, since it is the only Xyz we have with 2 material. We'd be able to detach material from here. Obviously, assume that we don't have 3 monsters on the field already. But we'd be able to summon our boy to the field, detach a material from Ragna Affinity here, and then special summon another water monster. The Aurora Wing is what we have. We'd be able to summon that from the grave. Then we would have Aurora Wing on the field, as well as our Migratory Zero on the field to be able to make 2 more Xyz. So more often than not, you're going to be able to get 4 Xyz off going second. Just, you know, unfortunately we didn't know. Just going to finish off beating this bot. Hey, yo, chill. What do you mean by that? It's going to finish dueling this bot. Going to set the staples that we happen to open, and we're just gonna go in for game. So now we can talk about the actual deck list, and honestly, you can see how cheap it is, how free it is. This is actually the freest deck I think I've ever played in the game. So we're playing 3 copies of Migratory Zero. You're gonna see the picture. I have no idea how the hell to pronounce this card. 3 copies of Blizzard Zero. We're gonna be playing 2 copies of Aurora Wing, 3 copies of Blizzard Thunderbird, running 2 copies of Kite Roy, 3 copies of Cosmic Cyclone, 3 copies of Forbidden Chalice, and 1 copy of Treacherous Trap Hole. For our extra deck, we're gonna be running 1 copy of Full Armored Crystal Zero Lancer, 1 copy of Ragnar Affinity, 2 copies of Ice Princess Zero, who gives a fuck, I don't know how to pronounce his name either, 3 copies of normal 103 RAGNAZERO, and then 2 copies of Ice Beast Zero Fine, because you know she fine as hell. That's pretty much the build here. This deck is actually entirely free. All you need to do is play the event / level up Marine, which you get from the event, to get the rest of the cards that the event doesn't give you. These Cosmics come from box chips, so that's 100 box chips a piece. That'd be 300 box chips, plus the 3 Chalice, that'd be another 300 box chips, that'd be 600 box chips, and then the Treacherous Trap Hole here, making it 700 box chips. 2 copies of the Kite Roy, which come from the trader, so these are entirely free. So pretty much the only thing that you don't get from the event would be the staples, and these are literally the freest staples in the game. Obviously, if you wanted to make it a little bit better, there are things we could do. For example, you could play the card Generation Force. If you control an Xyz monster, you're gonna be able to add an Xyz card from your deck to your hand. This is actually really nice because this lets us combo with other cards that make our Xyz even better. We'll be able to search for cards like Xyz Import. So you might be a little bit annoyed that RAGNAZERO here only works on attack position monsters. Well, we'll be able to search for Xyz Import and attach you to our RAGNAZERO. So that way we still have other things going on, and then it just makes it more likely to have a disruption by being able to search for the Xyz Import to add on to it, as well as going second, being able to break the board even easier. I do think this is probably a really good choice if you are able to get the Xyz Import. I do think that's nice. So that's pretty much the build. I tried to make it as free as possible for you guys. I really hope you guys do appreciate it, but obviously there are other staples you could play. You can play Droplet to make it a bit better if you wanted to be more on the expensive side. Book of Eclipse is a little bit better going second, probably not your greatest friend going first. Like I said, running the Xyz card to be able to search for Xyz Import would probably be really nice as well. It'll probably be one of your better things you could do. And I think the deck is honestly solid. I think it's okay, to be honest. And truthfully, I think it's a little bit better than Zodiac. That I just played the Zodiac deck. I don't know when you're going to be seeing the Zodiac video, but I appreciate you guys for checking this out. Thank you guys for watching. Please make sure you leave a like, comment, and subscribe. Comment what you want to see in your next video. It's been your boy Weatherman, Team 6K signing out. Deuces.
Hey, why they gotta hate on me? I done got me 250,000 views and they still saying they low key. They ain't wanna come work with the kid, but I'm flexing with Zay on beats. How they ask for a spot at the gym, but they leave all the weight on me. I don't ask them to wait on me. They would ask where they gon' be with a song if they wanted the Weatherman. I ain't asking to pay no fees. She was homeless and needed a spot. I ain't ask her to pay no lease. I ain't ask her to say no please. I ain't ask her to make no cheese. Scream fake, but it ain't on me. Got clean, so it ain't no streets. Why green if it ain't no keeps? Brought cream, so it ain't no beef. My team say it ain't no chief. My demon, they hang on me. They seemingly ain't no peace. I seen him, he ain't no beast. For real.